So, have you hit a growth plateau with your hair? You found that you've been on your natural hair journey and it just like your hair keeps breaking, you don't know what is happening? If you'd like to know the number one reason that your hair doesn't seem to retain length, then definitely keep on watching. Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel for another video. It's Tanisha here, or welcome to my channel if you're new. If you find that you have been on a natural hair journey and your hair keeps breaking even though you keep doing all the right things, all the things that you think are right, I encourage you to really take a serious look at your hair's elasticity, and I like to call them hair stats. Knowing your hair stats will save you so much time and effort in this natural hair journey. So let's jump right into it. I personally believe that our hair elasticity is what accounts majorly for us being able to see length retention. Now, what is hair elasticity? Well, elasticity is the ability of your hair to stretch and go back to its original length and curl pattern that it was before you actually stretched it. So, if your hair is wet, it typically stretches to 50% of its original length and then it goes back to normal. If your hair is dry, it only stretches 20% and then goes back to normal. That is if your hair is healthy. So if you want to check your hair's elasticity, what I would recommend you do is take one of your shed hairs from after you shampoo your hair. That way there is no product buildup, there are no oils or different things affecting the assessment that you're doing on your hair. And you take that strand of hair to this particular test. If you have kinky, curly, coily hair, your hair is going to look something like this. It's just kind of curled and coiled up on itself like this. When you want to check your elasticity, you pull on your hair and stretch it. Now it's going to stretch a particular length longer than it was originally, and then when you release, it's going to go back to normal, to how it was before you stretched it. Now, that is what is supposed to happen if your hair's elasticity is on point. However, there are two different ends of the spectrum that you don't want to be on. If your hair is too moisturized, which is a thing, you can't have too moisturized hair and your elasticity is off. When you stretch your hair, it stretches and stretches and stretches and stretches. Generally, your hair feels really mushy, it feels really soft, really limp, it doesn't really hold a curl like it normally would. If your hair doesn't have enough elasticity though, if you, from the curly coily state, if you try to stretch your hair, like before you even get very far, it'll break. And that's because there isn't enough moisture in your hair. If you have over moisturized hair, which is one end of the spectrum, generally you need to put more protein into your hair to help your hair rebuild its structure and its integrity. If you are on the other end of the spectrum where your hair breaks really easily when you stretch it, you definitely need more moisture because your hair doesn't have enough moisture to give it a little more pliability and manageability. So that is generally how you check your hair's elasticity and allows you to know where you lie on that whole spectrum. Like I said, we want to be somewhere in the middle where you allow your hair to be able to stretch and then it recoils on itself like normal, like it was before you stretched it. So, what affects elasticity? Now that we know what it is, we know how to check it, how do you know what affects it and what to look out for? So I personally believe that porosity plays a major role in you actually being able to maintain a healthy elasticity. Porosity is the ability of your hair to accept and retain moisture. Moisture is that property of your hair which allows your hair to have a really nice elasticity. So to me, the two are inextricably linked. Inextricably linked. So, you definitely need to know your hair's porosity in order to help manage your hair's elasticity. And that's really important to remember. Now that we know that, I have a little bit of a story for you guys. So when I first went natural, I first did the porosity test. That is the test where you put your hair strand into water and you see whether or not a clean strand of hair, mind you, into room temperature water, and you wait and see what happens to it. If it floats at the top, it's low porosity. If it kind of just sits in the middle of the water column or the container you have the water in, your hair is said to be more of a medium or normal porosity. And if your hair sinks straight to the bottom of the container, you are said to have high porosity hair, and that is because your cuticles are more lifted, so it accepts moisture really quickly, and that is why your hair fills up with that water and sinks to the bottom. If you have low porosity hair, your hair's cuticles aren't as raised and it doesn't accept moisture as easily, so it just sits on top. Now, as I said, you want to use a clean strand of hair, because if you use hair that already has products, already has oils or different things on it, oils repel water. So you don't want that your hair is actually high porosity, but because it has products on it, it tells you that it's low porosity and just sitting on the top of the water, when in truth and in fact, it's probably just the fact that the oils aren't allowing the water to go into your hair as much as they normally would. So be sure to use a clean strand of hair. Anyways, I digress. Originally, I had done the porosity test when I first went natural, and I tried this multiple times when I first went natural. As soon as I put the strand of hair into the water, it immediately sank like nobody's business. It didn't even take 5-10 seconds. It immediately sank. Your girl, having known that, started doing protein treatments, whether it was weekly or every 2 weeks. So I've been doing that religiously for years. And even though I used to deep condition weekly, I would moisturize my hair, I would take care of my hair, be really gentle with my hair, I still found that on wash day, I had these little strands of hair that would keep breaking off, and I was wondering, why is my hair still breaking? What is happening? And when I wash my hair during those periods of time, I tried to do the elasticity test just to see what my hair needs, because your hair does talk to you. It lets you know what it's going through at particular points in time. You just really need to listen. So when I would wash my hair, I would do the elasticity test like I showed you guys just now. So let me illustrate again. Back in the day, this was my hair, nice curly, coily. When I would stretch it, I would stretch it out, and then when I released it, it kind of just did something like this. It wouldn't really go straight back to like being curly, coily, and all not tangled, but all coiled on itself. It would more give me like a S curl kind of vibe, which it wasn't doing before. So I knew something was off in my elasticity, I just wasn't sure how to fix it. And it wasn't until I went to a stylist this year. She did a full assessment of my hair, and she actually told me, you have low to normal porosity hair. And I was like, in my head, of course, I was like, sis, what are you talking about? Like, no. That can't be right. I know that I did a porosity test however many years ago, and it said I have high porosity hair, so I don't know what you're telling me right now. After she told me that, curiosity got the better of me. The very next wash day, I decided, you know what, I'm going to test my porosity all over again. So same setup, same container of water, put my hair strand into the water, and remember I told you guys my hair immediately used to sink. Immediately. That hair just sat on top of the water. It was just chilling there, like, we here, we out here, we just chilling. And I was like, yo, what is happening right now? Like, what is going on? And I was like, I was so confused. I was so confused. But cue light bulb moment. I was like, Tanisha, that is why your hair has been breaking. You've been thinking your hair was this particular porosity, and you've been treating your hair that particular way, not realizing that you have a different porosity now. And if you guys would like me to do a video on what I think caused the difference in my hair porosity over the years, I would definitely do that. But for some reason, my hair's porosity changed, and it didn't occur to me to do another porosity test, because I just thought your porosity is kind of what you have, and that's all. Like, you can't do anything about it. So it's only when she told me that, and I did over the porosity test, and I realized, yo, no, things have changed. did I realize that my hair regimen needs to change to match that. In order for me to fix my hair's elasticity, I decided, you know what, since I realized that my hair is low to medium porosity now, I need to relax on the protein treatments and I need to up my moisture game. So that meant for me doing moisturizing deep conditioners every single week. That also meant hydrating my hair more frequently. So I've said this before, if it is I feel like my hair is dry, I will wash my hair. Whether I wash it with a shampoo at the end of the week, or I use my midweek apple cider vinegar, or my midweek Ayurvedic shampoo, I will cleanse my hair as frequently as I feel like I need to. And that is a whole nother story into the science of moisturizing your hair. If you guys would like a video on that, I could do that as well. But I prefer to completely cleanse my hair before trying to infuse more moisture into it. It just makes more sense to me that way. But in order to up my moisture levels, that meant for me infusing more water, more moisture into my hair more frequently. So if my hair feels dry, I'm going to wash it. I'm going to infuse that moisture into it. If I need to deep condition more than once a week, I'll do that. It just took a lot of me just learning my hair and really paying attention to what my hair was telling me, what my hair needed. So I definitely upped my moisture game, started moisturizing deep conditioners more often, started wetting my hair more often or rehydrating it more often. The other thing I started doing to improve my hair's elasticity was using Ayurvedic powders and Ayurvedic herbs. And I even like to tell you that has improved my hair's elasticity so much, especially the fact that I've been using herbs like amla, like marshmallow root, like fenugreek. All of those different herbs have such conditioning properties, and amla especially really helps to mend your hair's elasticity and give it strength but moisture at the same time. And I started doing those treatments every single week. You guys know I would have started my Ayurvedic challenge or Ayurvedic journey in 2020, and literally 3 weeks, like in the third week after started doing the Ayurvedic treatments every week religiously, I did the elasticity test. Like I told you guys, I tried to do that ever so often. And after the third week of using the Ayurvedic powders, my hair went right back to its original curl pattern, and I was shook. I was amazed. And so Ayurveda has definitely helped in terms of me actually improving my hair's elasticity. Now my hair is able to have a lot more tensile strength. It's a lot more malleable. It doesn't break off as easy. I don't find those little short pieces of hair when I wash my hair anymore. I don't have that much breakage like I used to before, and I owe it all to Ayurveda as well as me upping my moisture game. And as I would have alluded to before, the other thing that has improved my elasticity so much more is caring for my hair based on its porosity. So now that I know my hair's porosity is not as high as I thought it was originally, I need to cater my regimen to suit that. So I have completely reduced the amount of protein treatments that I used to do before. I now do protein treatments like maybe once a month or so. And lately, since I've been into Ayurveda so much, I haven't been doing traditional store-bought protein treatments. I've been incorporating henna every 6 weeks or so. And that henna gives my hair the strength that the protein treatment would generally give me. In me doing that, I've been able to find a really nice moisture protein balance. So I give my hair moisture, but not so much to the point where it gets mushy. You also have to balance it off with protein, whether you do that through Ayurveda with henna or cassia or different powders like that, or you use regular store-bought deep conditioners, protein deep conditioners like the replenishing conditioner or the Alpha G, or different conditioners like that give your hair that strength. I just want to stick a pin in here and say that there are other factors that can affect your hair's elasticity apart from moisture and how you treat your hair. if you color your hair, do any type of chemical processing, relaxing, using heat tools to style your hair, different processes that strip your hair of either moisture and or protein, those will also play a role in changing your hair's elasticity. So if you do any of those types of procedures or processes on your hair, you really are going to have to look even more closely at your hair and see whether it needs protein, whether it needs moisture, and just kind of walk that fine line between balancing your moisture and protein levels in order to achieve a healthy elasticity. So I just wanted to come on really quickly and tell you guys how my hair's elasticity has changed over the years and what I've done to kind of bring back some type of moisture protein balance in my hair, and what it has done to tremendously help me to retain length moving forward. If you guys again would like a video on how I think my hair's porosity has changed over the years, then I will definitely do that video. Comment down below and I'll definitely do that video for you guys. Also, if you would like a separate video on how to identify your hair's porosity and the different steps that you could take to manage your hair's porosity, then definitely comment that down below and I'll be sure to do that for you guys as well. If you like this type of informative content, then definitely hit the thumbs up button. And before we go, sis or sir, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you doing with your life? Definitely hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss future uploads. And I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the very next video. Take care. Bye.